What if I told you that the line between innocent curiosity and supernatural terror is thinner than the bars of a zoo cage? What if the animals aren't the only ones watching you from the shadows? Tonight, we venture into Mumbai's Byculla Zoo, where after the sun sets, the real exhibits begin to emerge. I'm your guide through Mumbai's darkest corners, and this is another chapter in our chronicles of urban horror. But be warned, this story might make you think twice before visiting any zoo after dusk. If you dare to continue, subscribe now, because the darkness is only getting deeper. Let me introduce you to Rajesh Kumar, a 32-year-old veterinary assistant who transferred to Byculla Zoo in the summer of 2019. Rajesh had always been passionate about wildlife, a dreamer who believed animals possessed souls far purer than humans. His transfer was a dream come true. Mumbai's oldest zoo, established in 1861, home to exotic species and rich colonial history. But what the official brochures didn't mention were the whispers. The night guard spoke in hushed tones about sections of the zoo that felt wrong after midnight. Online forums described strange occurrences near the old reptile house. Local residents claimed to hear children's laughter echoing from the abandoned Victorian-era quarters long after closing hours. Rajesh dismissed it all as superstition, a rationalist to his core. He volunteered for night shifts, preferring the quiet hours when he could observe animal behavior without crowds. The zoo had a skeleton crew after 10 p.m., just 2 security guards, and whoever drew the short straw for overnight animal monitoring. Rajesh didn't mind. He'd bring his thermos of chai, his notebook, and settle into his rounds with scientific precision. The first 3 weeks were uneventful, peaceful even. He'd check on the sleeping elephants, ensure the big cats had water, monitor the primate enclosures. Standard protocol. Then came the night of August 23rd. Rajesh was completing his 2 a.m. round near the old reptile house. A structure dating back to the 1930s, partially renovated but still carrying that colonial-era architecture. That's when he heard it, a child's voice singing, not crying, not screaming. Singing a lullaby in Marathi, clear as crystal in the dead of night. His rational mind offered explanations, a radio left on, sound carrying from nearby buildings, his exhausted brain playing tricks, but the voice was close, too close. It was coming from inside the old keeper's quarters, a building that had been locked and condemned for 15 years. Rajesh approached slowly, his flashlight cutting through the humidity. The singing stopped. Then he saw her, a little girl no more than 7 years old, wearing a faded yellow frock, standing behind the rusted gate of the keeper's quarters. She was smiling at him. His first instinct was concern. How did a child get locked inside zoo grounds? He called out, asking if she was lost, if she needed help. She just giggled and ran deeper into the building. Rajesh's training kicked in, a child in distress, potentially in danger. He found the old key in the security office, returned, and unlocked the gate. The inside was exactly as you'd expect from an abandoned building, cobwebs, decay, the smell of mold and time. But there she was, sitting on the stairs, playing with something in her hands. As he got closer, he realized she was playing with a small snake, letting it coil around her fingers. No fear, no concern. He told her to stay calm, that the snake might be venomous. She looked up at him with eyes that seemed too old for her face and whispered, "They can't hurt me anymore. Can they hurt you?" Before he could respond, she vanished. Not walked away, vanished, like smoke. Rajesh stumbled backward, his heart hammering against his ribs. He ran outside, gasping for air, trying to process what he'd witnessed. The next morning he confided in Prakash, the senior security guard. Prakash's face went pale. He pulled Rajesh aside and told him the story that wasn't in any brochure. In 1987, during a renovation of the keeper's quarters, a gas leak caused an explosion. A staff member and his 7-year-old daughter died in the blast. The girl had apparently been playing in the building against her father's warnings. Since then, night staff reported seeing her, always in that same yellow dress, always near the reptile house, the animals she loved most in life. Rajesh wanted to believe there was another explanation. But over the next 2 weeks, he saw her 3 more times, once feeding invisible food to the pythons, once sitting on the elephant statue near the entrance, once standing at the edge of the crocodile pit, staring down into the water. Each time she'd look at him, smile that knowing smile, and disappear. He requested a transfer. It was approved within days. The administration knew the stories, even if they'd never acknowledged them publicly. Today, Byculla Zoo is well-lit, modernized, and visited by thousands weekly. The old keeper's quarters were finally demolished in 2021, but ask the night staff, and they'll tell you the girl in yellow still walks the paths. Is she still there, searching for the animals she loved, wandering the grounds of her final moments? Rajesh survived by listening to his instincts, by knowing when to walk away from the supernatural. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit when you're outmatched by forces beyond understanding. If you're from Mumbai, if you visited Byculla Zoo, leave a comment. Have you felt that strange presence? Have you seen something the rational world can't explain? If this story sent chills down your spine, hit that like button and subscribe, because Mumbai's paranormal archives are deep, and we've only just begun to uncover them. Next time we're heading to a place where the trains themselves carry ghosts. Until then, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, not everything in a cage is an animal.